Hello, have you heard of cloud computing before? Have you heard of Google Cloud Platform or G Suite? And you're wondering what is all these things all about? My name is Mohammed Amin Ibrahim, and I am a software developer and also a student from CKT-UTAS, University of Technology and Applied Sciences, and I am also the DSC lead of my campus. So in this video, I'm going to introduce to cloud computing and specifically introduction or the first time using the Google Cloud platform. So we are going to look at three questions. Then we are going to try to answer this question to clarify our doubt and understand what is cloud computing. So we look at what is cloud, we look at what is Google Cloud Platform, and how to get started with Google Cloud Platform. So we also look at the revolution of the cloud. We look at the definition of cloud computing. Then we look at the differences between Google Cloud Platform and G Suite. Then also we look at the umbrellas under cloud, or should I say branches under the cloud computing. Good. So the first question is, what is cloud? What is cloud? But before we answer this question, I would like us to look at the revolution, the history of cloud computing, how we actually came to this generation of cloud computing, like the stages that we passed through before we actually came to the cloud computing world. So the revolution of the cloud computing. Okay, so cloud computing is not like we are putting computers inside the cloud so that we can store data. No, it's a whole total different thing. So after this video, you understand what cloud means. So we started with the on-premise generation. So with the on-premise generation, let me use this example for you to really understand. So let's say you are building a social media application or website, then you have your server at one corner of your house or your room. You have your own server, then you have, let's say, five users, and you have one person managing the server. Then as the users increases, like let's say you have 200 plus users, so your system start to slow down because of the bandwidth is not sufficient, and because the users are increasing and the server is only one. You understand? So you don't actually uh, fulfill the promise that you are giving to the visitors, like the users. They can actually have time to navigate. Like 200 plus people cannot really visit the site at the same time. So it makes the website very slow and very horrible. So with that effect on the on-premises, so the on-premises like you having your server in your house, or let's say in your premise. So that's why we say the on-premise. So after that, then we move to the revolution of time sharing. Okay, so the difference between time sharing and on-premise is that, let's take a company like IBM. So IBM is a very big firm, and they have servers, they have large servers. So they might not be using all of the space on the server. So they are like, okay, why don't we rent the space to startup so that they can put their applications or their website on the server. Then we charge them real money for that. That also be like a revenue for the company. So but there will not be any extra, how do you call it, services when you are using that. So that's the time sharing. So with time sharing, you actually get a space on someone's server, but there will not be any much support to that. So after that, we move to the cloud computing. So from time sharing to the cloud computing. So cloud computing is very similar to time sharing, but with cloud computing, they give you extra features to support what you are doing, unlike time sharing where you just host your website on someone's server, then you manage the extra things. But with cloud computing, they actually give you some resources for you to scale your business or your code or your work. Good. So we will look at the like the branches and the umbrellas under cloud computing. So we have infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and a software as a service. So what is infrastructure as a service? So infrastructure is like the premise where we actually set the server in your premise, like you feel it. So this cloud service providers, let's say Google, they're actually renting a space for you, like a hardware device, like you can actually feel it. Okay, it's an infrastructure. You get it? You can feel it, then you host your website or you put your application there, then you do the managing. You do the managing yourself, but they're actually giving you the space to do your to host your website or your application. Now with the platform as a service, that one they're actually giving you the space and also additional softwares, additional staffs to help scale your business or your website. Now, the software as a service, that one too, what they do is that they actually give you a software, like let's say GC, like let's say Gmail, let's say Google Docs, for you are using the software to help your business, scale up, right? So these are the umbrellas under cloud computing. So infrastructure, platform as a service, and software as a service. So now we are answering our first question: what is cloud computing? So in the developer sense or student developer, we can define cloud computer as a set of tools that help developer to spend less time managing and more time being creative or developing. So let me break this down. So as a developer, when you are using cloud service, now you spend more time developing instead of managing. You don't really care about how your system is being run because everything is being run by the cloud service provider. They will do everything for you to scale up. You get it? You don't really care about how the things are running. Your focus is how you build. They will handle the managing aspect of your business for you, or your code or your website or your application for you. So in the developer sense, that is the definition that we can give to cloud computing, or what a cloud is. So we will look at the difference between GCP and Suite. So Google Cloud is the actually the broader picture. That's the Google Cloud. So we also have GCP now. GCP stands for Google Cloud Platform. Now, the Google Cloud itself has two branches, the G Suite and the GCP. That is the Google Cloud Platform. So now the G Suite is the softwares like Gmail, Google Docs, Google Drive, Calendar, and Google Meet. So these are softwares that can help your business solve certain problem. So GCP is the mixture of Google Cloud and G Suite, right? So they are both, mixtures of these two, services under one, package. Now, on GCP platform, you can run code, you can store data, data migration, you have tools for networking, you have tools for monitoring, tools for Internet of Things, tools for administrators, tools for building APIs, tools for building security, and open source tools like TensorFlow. So tools for running code, you can create a virtual machine, like a code that can take you, let's say, a week to build. You can actually take some few days or a day to run on the Google platform that can be running for you forever. They also have tools for storing data, SQL and non-SQL data can be stored on the Google cloud platform. So we also have tools for migration, and basically this is for companies that, let's say, have a particular data in their closet and they want to migrate, or they want to send that particular data from their closet to the Google platform. They have tools for that. We also have tools for networking, so we can actually spin a network that can run worldwide, let's say from Ghana to Indonesia or Egypt, or let's say India, within a very few minutes. You also have tools for monitoring. Let's say you can monitor how your activities are doing and how your services are really going. So you can have tools that can connect your application to other Internet of Things platform. Then also tools for administrators. You can create a platform where other administrators can manage your services. Then also tools for building, APIs, application program interfaces. Then also have tools for building securities. Then you have tools for how do you call it, TensorFlow, which is an open source platform. So how do students use GCP? Now, so mostly in on campuses we have hackathons and like coding challenge and solution challenge that we run. So you can use GCP to help solve one of your problems. So in a certain university there was a hackathon that some students went to present. So they were like, the problem they were solving was like to get your plane ticket as soon as possible. You get it, getting a plane ticket. In some countries, I don't, my country, I don't know, it's not like that. But in some countries, getting plane tickets becomes very difficult because of the masses. So they were trying to solve a problem related to such. So you buy this thing, um the ticket, then you get it as soon as possible, right? As soon as possible. And there was an API that scanned all the web to see the available flight, or the flight which is available, so that you can purchase. So they use Google Cloud as students in that particular hackathon. So whatever idea that you have, whatever solution, technical solution you have, you can actually employ Google Cloud as a platform to your application. Okay, and you can scale up and you learn more. So this is the first part of this particular video. The second part we are going to look at the practical aspect of the GCP, which is Google Cloud Platform. Then we create a virtual machine that can run on the web. So how do you get started, which is going to be our next video. We are going to log into the Google Cloud Platform, then we make a project, then we create a billing account, then we create a virtual machine. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. And also, if you have any concern, any suggestion, leave it in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.